Kirill, I was wondering maybe if you could just give us a little overview. I know we just looked at the Outer Banks package. What other packages and trim levels are there? And maybe we could check another one out.
Gotcha. So with the Bronco, there's two different kinds of Broncos. You have the full-size Bronco that we just looked at, and then you have the Bronco Sport, which we have on camera here. So a couple of their trim levels are shared. They both start off with a base. They both have a Big Bend trim level that comes after that, and then an Outer Banks that comes above that. Now for the Bronco Sport, you have one more trim level that you can get, which is called the Badlands trim level, which is kind of like the slightly more off-road oriented one. And you can also get you can get that same package on the full-size Bronco. But on the full-size Bronco, you also have one called the Black Diamond, which it's essentially a Big Bend with a couple key off-road add-ons to it. And then you also have what's called a Wild Track, which is pretty much every single option you can get already included, ready to go. So you don't really have to add much other than maybe a few accessories if you want to personalize it, pick your color, little things like that. But otherwise, you get a Wild Track and it's fully loaded, no questions asked. So what we're looking at here in our showroom, this is a Bronco Sport. And this is a Big Bend, so one step up from base where you can kind of start picking and choosing your options, adding accessories, stuff like that. So the one we're looking at here is in Rapid Red with the, I believe, gray and black interior that you can select as an option. So as Brian's walking around it, let's see where we're going with this. So once you get to the Big Bend, you get the black window tint or the darker window tint in the back on the Big Bend, whereas the base, that would just be all clear glass. You also get the slightly nicer dark gray wheels once you get up to the Big Bend package, whereas the base, you would get silver wheels. You also get the nice white lettering on here to contrast with the color. On the back bumper, this package, you get the reverse sensors, so whenever you get close to something, it's a proximity sensor, so it'll start to beep as you get close to kind of warn you. And of course, backup camera standard on all of them. Now the Bronco Sports are really cool because just like the big Broncos, you can pop open the rear glass separate from the rest of the trunk. So if you just need to reach in and grab something, pop that open, reach your arm in, and move on with your day. And of course, you can open the entire trunk. And Brian, if you're able to do that, there's a lot of really cool stuff inside here that be nice to touch on. You may have seen on the backup camera, there is a washer there, which is kind of cool. So when you squirt your back window to clean it, it actually cleans off your backup camera too.
Huh.
I know a lot of people kind of, little feature, but it's always those little things that make such a huge difference in your daily life. So as we're looking back here, first thing you'll notice is the hard plastic mats on the whole cargo area. So the floor is a nice hard plastic, and the seat backs have clips on them. So those are removable covers that clip onto existing clips on seats, and that way if you fold the seats down, or if you have your mountain bike or your hiking boots or fishing poles, whatever you're doing outdoors, it kind of protects the cargo area from getting damaged and makes it a lot easier to clean too. Those things pop right off. You can take them out, hose them off, and put them right back on, just like the push of a button. Mm-hmm. Now, what Brian's looking at there's a button on the left side of the trunk for lights on the inside of your tailgate hatch. So Brian, if you look behind you and up on the inside of the tailgate, you'll see lights. They're like spotlights. So the idea there is you're, getting ready in the back of your car, you're hanging out, tailgating, you've got a little bit of overhead lighting to just make it a little easier to see. And it's cool because you can actually move them around to angle the light better. Now next to those buttons, yeah, there you go. Perfect. Now you also have a couple lasso hook straps there, or I call them lasso hooks because there's a little lasso logo on them. So these are basically just, hooks to clip stuff to. If you have grocery bags, instead of just throwing them in the cargo area, clip your grocery bags onto there, and they stay nice and organized. So there's 4 of those, one in each corner of the cargo area, and it just helps with organization. This whole car is really, it's all about outdoor adventure, and when you're going outdoors, you got to bring a lot of stuff with you, so you got to be organized. And they really tried to go out of their way on this car to make it a little easier for you. And then, of course, if you look on the right side of the hatch, Brian, by the right tail light, there is your signature bottle opener. Gotta love that. Key for tailgating, such a fun feature. I love that Ford's doing it. It just, it always brings a smile out of people when you mention that their car has a built-in bottle opener. Obviously not advocating, drinking and driving, but when you're at a campsite or something, not planning on going anywhere, nothing wrong with, having a step 2.
It's always something you forget too. You always need it when you don't have it.
Yeah. And then you're struggling trying to find some kind of hard surface, and it's just better to have one built in. It's easier for everyone. All right. So I think that's most of the key stuff in the cargo area here, Brian. Let's see where we'll go to next. It looks like we're in the back seat. So on the backs of the seats, there's a couple cool things. So as I mentioned, storage and organization before. The backs of the driver and passenger seats, you'll see some pockets there. There was zippered pockets, so you can, put stuff in there, secure it. You're not going to fall down. But you also have the straps below it, which are meant for hanging carabiners off of. These are like military style, I think they're MOLLE straps, they call them. And, hang your water bottles, hang your little backpacks on there, stuff that you don't want rolling around. Clip a carabiner onto it, and it's nice and secure. Then you also have, the air vents back there for your rear passengers, USB and a USB-C port down at the bottom for quicker charging for some newer devices. Armrests with cup holders in the middle and foldable headrests. That way, if you don't have passengers in the back, you push that little button on the side, they fold down and makes it a little easier to see out the back. And of course, as I mentioned before, the seats do fold down. So right on the shoulder there's a button. Click that, seats drop. And, if you need more storage space, it's super easy. Brian just did it with one hand while holding a camera.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so super versatile vehicle, real fun to drive. They're easy to maneuver because they're boxy. So they're really easy to see out of. They're really easy to park. Great visibility out of them. And they're just, very similar to the Maverick that Jake described earlier. The controls are all very simple, very intuitive, very easy to use. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible. You get the nice touchscreen 8-inch with the new Ford Pass app that all the Fords are coming with. So you get any new Ford and you can remote start your car from your phone. You can lock it and unlock it from your phone, find it on a map, see your tire pressure, see how much gas you have. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, what you can do from your phone to control your car. And it's always just part of the package. You buy a new Ford, that app is yours for as long as you have the vehicle, which I think is just such a nice cherry on top. So Brian's going through the center stack of the Bronco here. So very similar looking to the Maverick, but the difference here with it being a Bronco is you do get the GOAT modes, which are very similar to like what you get in the full-size Bronco. So normal mode, eco mode, sport mode, slippery and snow mode, all kind of help calibrate the vehicle for, whatever conditions you may be in or whatever you may be feeling like at that moment. You're trying to increase your fuel economy and save money on gas, throw it into eco mode. If you're just looking to scoot around through traffic and, have a fun, exciting time driving your car, put it in sport mode. It'll, make it a lot more responsive, make it shift faster, and really make the whole car come alive. And it's as easy as turning that dial. It shows up on your digital dash as you turn it. Pick out whatever mode you want. You can do it on the fly as you're going, and it really just changes the whole personality of your vehicle. So other than that, there in the middle, you've got a little auto hold and electronic parking brake, and the newer style shifter that Ford's been using, which is their electronic turn dial shifter. Little new, couple benefits of it. If you turn your car off and forget to put it in park, it will shift itself into park automatically. So a couple safety benefits of that. Plus, I've heard that since a lot more of it is electronic, there's less physical wear and tear. So it's supposedly a little more reliable than having a shifter that you constantly slide up and down, which eventually wears out. But yeah, so low gear there too, just in case. And one really neat thing about this Bronco is you do get a wireless charger on it. This has the convenience package on it for the Big Bend, so you get some really nice creature comforts. You can kind of see the heated seats there in the picture, your wireless charger. You do get climate control there, so you can actually select your temperature. And then with the Big Bend, you do get like the push button start there and keyless entry as well. So, sensors on your door handle, they unlock with the key in your pocket just by you touching it. Makes it real convenient. Get in and out. Never really have to dig around in your pockets or anything to find your key.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's, yeah, we don't have it on in the showroom for, obvious reasons. So you can't really see the digital dash, but you do have a nice like 4.5-inch screen there in the gauge clusters. So you can see all your drive modes, digital speedometer, all your trip info and stuff like that. Very easy to use, very easy to navigate. They give you all your key buttons on the steering wheel, so you can pretty much control the whole car just using steering wheel controls and voice commands once you get good at it.
I just want sorry, to take a second and
Yeah.
remind everyone that's watching, or if you're just now joining us, to ask questions all throughout the live. Kirill can answer them. Or if there's something you want to see, go ahead and comment. But just wanted to remind everyone, or people that are just joining. I
Sure
know
thing.
one thing that I love is the colors they have picked, like in this lineup. Like they're all so unique and different.
Yeah, they've got some really cool ones. So, like the Mustang that's behind you, you can get that color on it. It's called Velocity Blue. That's a really, cool, bright, fun color. The Rapid Red's a popular choice. They have one called Cyber Orange, which is, it says it's pretty yellow, but they call it Cyber Orange.
Mhm.
But you'll see it on the Mach-E that we show later in the video. So you can get that color. And then they have, black, gray, white, silver, all the normal stuff, but I do think it's cool that they have all these fun colors as well for people to pick from.